We start by talking about the video that I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, but I was crying. So, and 1.5 million people have seen that now in just over 24 hours. So,
yeah,
and a lot of people are kind of like having opinions on why I've posted it, and there's a lot of comments that just say, "Why crying on the internet, man up?" But it's like there's a couple of points that I want to make, because as much as me posting that video was a form of therapy, I think for me, because actually I made the video not with the intention of
it seeing the light of day.
I'm going to show this, and even watching it back, and that was filmed very very raw. It was basically straight after, and I decided I'm going to keep a video diary just to see like how I am. I did that, and I started writing in a journal 2 things I've never done in my life, and they helped because I could get my words out. I could talk without an opinion, without someone looking back at me and me like, I know it sounds silly, but even like making eye contact with someone while you're talking, and then while you're talking and trying to say something, it's like, what are they thinking? Should I be saying this? Should I?
Yeah.
Like, so actually just to talk to a camera, that's not judging, it's just me.
Like, inherently, me and Jono, when you call us and talk to us about these things, whether or not we tell you our opinion, you know we're going to have one.
Yeah.
Whereas with those forms, like, the camera isn't talking back to you and you can just unload.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've kept a video diary and obviously posted the first one, and it's, you know, there's always going to be some backlash and there's going to be some negative, but I'm used to that in social media. You post something in social media and, you know, it might be a prank on Lucy and someone will have an opinion and someone will be like, that's out of order, you can't do that. But as much as, and even that, like, as much as it being a form of therapy for me to get it and record it and not have judgment, and then also the realisation, or not the realisation, but thinking, do you know what, yeah, other people might be going through this same thing, and life sometimes is difficult, and I'm in a position where I can post that on social media and then let other people see, do you know what, they're not on their own, like they're not on their own. And like I say, and when I say like about the selfless side of things, like I also post it for the support for myself. Like, but, and I know there's going to be good and bad, of course, but the amount of positive messages I've had from people saying, I've been there, I was there this time last year,
100%.
Or my partner left me, and we were married for 10 years. Like, I've had so many messages from people, and it's nice for me to, like, I know I've got support from my like close friends and my family, but it's nice to know. It's not nice to know. That's really is the wrong way to put it, because it's not nice. It's not a nice situation to be in, to have to kind of want that support and that support network. Like, I wish I wasn't in this situation.
But you know it's there.
But I know that now I've put myself out there, and that's probably the most vulnerable I've ever been. And people have been there and they've said, we're here if you need to. So, like, strangers have messaged me saying, if you just want to phone someone, phone me. Like, sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger.
I would imagine that's probably the best thing that's come out of this. The fact that you can sit there and go, do you know what, I know that although what I'm feeling right now is horrible, I know that Mr. Smith, Mr. Brown, that they have told me that it will get easier and I will be in a better place at some point in time. Whenever you arrive at that point in time, nobody knows, but it will happen. It will happen.
And you'll be that person in the future that says, I've been through something similar to this, and I managed to get through it. And that's the thing. All those people at one point were exactly where you are now, and now they're in a position to say it gets better, and that will be you in the future. So there's obviously, you said about being on social media, everyone's going to have an opinion, and there's good and there's bad ones. One set of opinions that I did want to discuss, because I think it's valid for people to have commented it, but I also think that they need to get your perspective, and as a friend, like our perspective on this. So the majority of the comments are support. Right, there's a small section that are saying that this should have been dealt with behind closed doors. Now, obviously, this is your life, so I really do want to understand your perspective on it. But from an outsider looking in, you're right that this is something that usually 9 times out of 10 would be dealt with behind closed doors. But considering your career and how active you and Lucy were on social media, this is something that had to be told one way or another. And people might not agree with your medium of doing it, but you was always going to have to tell the story.
I think
always going to have to tell the story.
I think I could. There's so many ways I could have told people. But I think I had to tell people one way or another. Like I said, it wasn't made for social media, but it sort of just fit perfectly because it did just tell everyone how I was feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
But also, there are other ways I could have done it, and there's probably other ways I should have done it. Lucy's had a lot of backlash from that post.
Yeah.
Which that does break my heart because it's not a blame game. It's never been about you did something wrong or I did something wrong. Like the video was about me being completely fucking heartbroken because my wife left me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not about Lucy's left me, so you all go and message her and tell her like how horrible. Like I love that girl, and I never want to see her upset. And especially now, it's like I'm not the person she's going to come to for comfort.
Because in her opinion, you've driven people to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like because I'm the cause of it. I posted that video, so I'm the cause of it. But even before that, she's left me because she's not in love with me. So I'm not going to be the person she's going to go to say, Dan, I need a hug. Like I'm having a really sad day, and that, like, we've been inseparable for 5 years, and like that. I mean, that alone is just hard. That's hard to even say.